The Chronicles, what?
The Chronicles of Riddick.
And it's like Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, that'd be a great crossover movie.
No.
Riddick.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't, because it would be like a 20-minute movie of Riddick just ripping people's heads off, and then that's it. It's over.
Right, it'd be a great movie.
Oh, wait, hold on. You know what's funny? The only one I have not seen is Dark Fury.
Oh, yeah, the animated prequel.
The animated one. And I don't know why I didn't, actually.
It's good.
Did you play the video game?
I did.
I heard the video game is really good.
They're awesome. Yeah, if you bought it on the PS3, it came with an HD version of the original that was only available on the Xbox. So that was cool. That was cool.
That is really cool. Wow.
I think
Okay.
it's Assault on Dark Athena and Escape from Butcher Bay. Yeah.
I was going to say Escape from Butcher Bay is the one that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm referencing. That
I think that's the
was
first
actually
one.
really
I think
good.
that's the first one.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think that's the one that's supposed to be really good. Like, way better than it should be, I think, was one of the reviews I read.
No, I'm kind of bummed that because Vin Diesel was making all those through his own studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of bummed that he's kind of backed off on that, because it was great to get like Riddick adventures in between in video games.
Yeah, but I don't think he really has much choice at this point.
Yeah, he's too busy making 100 Fast and Furious movies.
And making like $1 billion doing it. Like, I can't fault the guy. Are you kidding me? Kenneth, I am glad that what we did get in 2004 on June 11th was the sequel to Pitch Black, The Chronicles of Riddick.
The Chronicles of Riddick. Crazy, hilarious that David Twohy wrote this film, and he wrote 2 more, and Vin Diesel and him walked in the Universal Studios and put 3 down, and only one of them was open. The other 2 were locked. And they said, that is The Chronicles, our next movie. Like, can you imagine going, hey, we made $53 million on Pitch Black. Here's $110 million for the sequel.
Actually, I've got a floating budget of 105 to 120, including marketing.
I'm sure. And you know what? That Dark Fury is probably included in that budget, because they used that to push this movie when it was coming.
Yes, and I wouldn't be surprised too. But I remember like literally in the same boat as you, when I couldn't imagine just walking into an office and being like, yeah, our last movie, just barely made double.
Yeah.
We would like this much for this movie. And they went, okay. And the thing that bothers me the most is that this bombed.
Yeah, that hurts. And, I mean,
granted,
the only reason Universal gave them the money to make this is because Fast and Furious and XXX were hits. They
I
went,
don't give up.
Vin Diesel can make us money.
I'm sorry, but if a movie bombed by literally only $5 million, I wouldn't have dragged my ass to get a sequel out.
Yeah.
But then again, I also wouldn't have done a sequel like Riddick, though, because this movie is incredible. The shit that they did in this movie, like little bit of world building in Pitch Black, little bit of history on how much of a horrible human being Riddick was. You get to Chronicles of Riddick, and it's like we get the fucking story about the Necromongers. We've got elementals. We've got an epic scale. We have the one that's going to save the universe trope.
Yep.
We've got like crazy cool designs.
Crazy design.
Holy fuck. They got Comfior to play the bad guy. And Tandy Newton. Like, what the fuck?
The cast is nuts. Like Carl Urban, he was just starting off. So, that's but Judi Dench.
It's great to see him. But yeah, you got Judi Dench, you got Comfior, and you got Tandy Newton all in a movie with fucking Dominic Beretta from fucking Fast and Furious, or whatever his last name is. Peretti or whatever? I don't know.
Peretti. Toretto. It's Toretto.
Dom Toretto. Dom Toretto is in the fucking same movie with these like heavyweights.
Yeah.
I actually feel bad, like, because I love this movie more than the first. But like, it's not like it blows it out of the water. I just like this movie. I just think it's a better. It's like Alien and Aliens. I love Alien, but I absolutely adore Aliens, even though I love Alien, right? And I have no issues with Alien. I think Alien's just a perfect horror flick, sci-fi, everything about it. There's not one thing I don't like.
Yep.
And you would know that, Geek Pantsers, if you watched our previous Camcast.
Yep.
But then for them to take everything that was awesome with the first one and make it so much better. I mean, the only real change they did here with Riddick was that they softened him just a bit. He still brutally kills people. I mean, he John Wicked somebody before John Wick was a thing. Mm-hmm. A fucking teacup.
Oh, the teacup scene? Oh, man. Hey, did you watch the theatrical or did you watch the director's cut?
What's the difference?
The theatrical is PG-13. The director's cut, I think, is 12 minutes longer, and it is R, or unrated.
The one I saw was you actually see him put the cup in,
and twist it.
Yeah, and then you see Kyra, as Jack is called now. Yeah, take it out, and it's covered in blood.
Yeah, and she goes, teacup. Wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah, and also the one I saw, there was more flashbacks from the Furian.
Okay. Yeah, so you probably watched the director's cut then.
Okay.
Okay, straight up, if you're watching the Riddick trilogy, and I should have told you this, but the director's cut is the way to go on all three of them.
Every single one. Just don't dick around. If you get the director's cut, do the director's cut. Simple 100%. As that.
They're like 10 minutes longer, and they are so much more brutal, and they're awesome. Like Chronicles of Riddick, you know it's PG-13 because Universal wants to make the money back.
Oh yeah, you can tell like the way he's
pitch black.
The way he's killing the Necromongers is definitely like watching Star Wars, where they're killing guys with lightsabers. Like you know they're doing it, but they don't show any blood or no arms get cut off or anything like that. This one, the director's cut, I actually saw heads getting taken off and stuff like that. So yes, I did see the director's cut.
It's hard hitting, like the fight on the planet with the hot sun and everything when he's fighting the Necromongers.
Crematoria. What an awesome name.
Yeah, so good. So, oh man, that fight is so good. So much hard hitting in the.
Okay, but let's not get too bogged down. First and foremost, we've got a long-haired, bearded Riddick on an ice planet getting chased down by mercs, surprisingly. Yeah. And there's like $1.5 million bounty on him.
You got Nick Chunland as Toombs. I love Toombs in this.
Toombs is
the
great.
Bounty hunter that just keeps chasing Riddick.
Ugh. Oh yeah, sorry. We'll go through the so the release 2004, June 11. Budget was 120 million, made 115 million. Okay. Director is David Twohy. Richard B. Riddick again is played by Vin Diesel. Yep. Lord Marshall is Compior. Again, Keith, I'm a fucking legend. David is Imam. Mm-hmm. Kyra is Alexa Davalos. This actually, it was interesting because originally Rihanna Griffith was supposed to be Kyra.
Yep.
And both Vin Diesel and the producers were like, yeah, we want her. Let's do it. And they were like, okay, you got to get tough. And then like within 3 weeks, they're like, yeah, we cast somebody else. I was like, what?
Well, I heard she re-auditioned and she still couldn't carry the physicality of the role.
Okay. That's different than what I heard. So this sounds a little bit better.
Alexa Davalos could carry the role. However, Vin brought Rihanna Griffith back to voice Jack in the Dark Fury cartoon.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
Still brought her back in a way.
Although, how does that work? I thought that was a prequel.
It bridges Pitch Black in this. It shows you how he got from the end of that into this. And
so it's not a prequel. It's like a chapter in between.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like all that little stuff, like where a mom is saying that Jack went to prison because she went to look for him because he left her and all that. You see that.
Right. Okay. That whole opening scene, though, I love because that's where you're getting the hints that Riddick is actually, like, he actually cares about Kyra or Jack. Sorry, because at this point they're calling her Jack, even though they know that she's a woman. Right. And like, because Imam is like, he's wagging his finger at him. He's like, you fucking left her, so she went looking for you, and she went into prisons, and it's all your fault, asshole.
Yeah.
he's like, I left so that you wouldn't do this. And he's like, well, too bad.
You failed. Yeah,
you fucked up, so you got to find her and make it right. You mentioned Carl Urban as Vaco.
Yes.
Tandy Newton, I mentioned, as Dame Vaco. Jeff is like, okay. And then, of course, Arian, which is, I wrote Tandy Newton twice. Instead of Dame Judi Dench, I wrote Tandy Newton. But anyway, so that's pretty much the cast there. There's others. You mentioned Toombs.
It's so cool to see, like, Vin Diesel wanted Judi Dench in this so bad that he refused to cast anyone else until she agreed to do the movie.
That's hilarious. That is so funny. That he's just like
trying to be this role. That's
awesome.
Yeah,
I love how invested he still is in the role. I really like that. Like, it's like he was doing that whole love for the character long before Hugh Jackman was singing the praises of Wolverine.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. Yeah. He absolutely loves this role. I mean, he couldn't get a third movie off the ground for years, so what did he do? He did video games of Riddick.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like,
and then pretty much like forced them to make the third one.
Well, no, the story behind the third is that they wanted him to come back for Fast and Furious 4, and the only way he would do it is if they gave him the rights to Riddick.
Yeah, so he forced them so that he could make the third.
Yeah, but he didn't force them. He had the movie rights, so he went and made it.
That's what I'm saying. He forced them to basically say, okay, fine, here, you can have the rights.
Oh, okay.
I'll do that movie. But give me the rights so that I could make the third movie. Why did you drag this out, Kenneth?
Good content.
Me. You good.
I'm good.
You're good.
All right.
Well played, sir. Yeah. Well played. Okay, so the introduction to the Necromongers, like I liked the exposition dump at the beginning to set the stage.
Yep.
But then when you actually see them in action, like I said, the visuals, I love how it's like this weird mix of Roman centurion style armor with like heavy emphasis on death. Like, oh man, like Lord Marshall's initial skull fucking helmet thing.
Yeah.
Looked gross. Like, like definitely looked like they had all died. Every single one of them looked like they had died. They came back to life as this new Necromonger. That's a great name too, Necromonger. That just sounds like I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, I love it.
Necromongers are showing up. I gotta leave.
So good. When I was watching this, I went, wow. With the Necromongers, they did Galactus better than Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
They're just friggin' they roll in, they crash down, the end of world.
Oh man. And the way they did it looked so cool. Like just totally annihilated it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Like their version of Galactus was terrible. So horrible.
A dust cloud.
Yeah. Nanobots, essentially. Just eating everything. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, well, whatever. I've never been a Fantastic Four fan anyway, so okay, fine. Love the characters, but never enough to get so invested that I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. This is an outrage. The way they do Riddick's fighting style in this movie, also really cool. Yeah, there's a heavy emphasis on wire work, but I'm a little bit more forgiving because of the time period, A, and B, because we're dealing with aliens. Like, not one of these people are humans. Sorry, Riddick and the Necromongers aren't human. So when they're doing these crazy, fantastic stuff, I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Although Kyra's fucking badass in this movie. And
so awesome in this.
Like,
to
wow,
where the
so
ending cool. Disappoints me.
It made me so mad. That's the only thing that I would not do again. Like, I would change it. So spoilers, we'll get to it, but she dies at the end. Yeah. I would have changed it so that she didn't die.
I mean, you already killed a mom. Like, you already killed one of the main guys in Pitch Black.
You know, and you did that in the last movie where you killed Fry. I'm not saying Riddick should have died, but, you know, she didn't have to die.
No, so yeah, the only thing this is why I'm crossing my fingers that if the fourth movie happens and he's going to Furia, he's got to cross through the Underverse to get there, and he meets her again in the Underverse.
Ooh, somebody's thought about this.
If she returns in the Underverse, that would be good.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I was watching this movie, I was like, too bad we didn't get to see the Underverse.
Yeah.
Because that would have been kind of interesting to see. So I kind of like that plot point.
And that's why I'm saying watch the director's cut of Riddick and not the theatrical, because the end of the director's cut sets up the Underverse.
Okay.
Whereas the theatrical kind of ended on the planet and mentioned nothing else again about the Necromongers.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that was one of the issues I had with that movie. Now that you talk about it, I go, oh yeah, that's right, that's how it ended. Because aside from the Mud Demon or whatever,
yeah,
and Batista, that's it.
Yeah,
I don't even really remember Batista. I just know that he was in the movie.
It's a good movie. I enjoy the hell out of that one too. Like, the characters are pretty fun in it.
I'm gonna rewatch it because
I feel like
I'm halfway through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think my order is going to change, though. I still think it's going to be 2, 1, 3.
I think your order will be the same.
And what's your order for the sake of argument?
1, 2, 3.
It is, eh? How close is it between 1 and 2?
Super close.
I was gonna, because that's kind of where I was at.
To me, they're both 5s. Riddick's a 4.5. I still love the hell out of Riddick.
Okay. Yep. Fair. So,
yeah. I just feel like it drags out a little too much in a few parts, but we'll talk about that during the Riddick Camcast.
Yeah. Exactly. Now I'm. I don't know. Like, I can't put this at number 2 just because I love that epic feel to this. I love that this is like Lord of the Rings in space. You know, like I was all in. I saw this in the theater. Did I see this with you?
You did.
I saw this in the theater. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It was a weird one because we did an afternoon shot. That's right.
Yeah, and I think we actually watched Pitch Black the night before, just to get pumped for it.
That's right. We did. That's right. That's right. So I think that might also be part of it too, because I watched it in the theater. But everything about that movie was just epic in scale. None of it dragged. And it's crazy because it's literally just like 3 set pieces to the movie. Right. There's the first planet where he, technically 2, I guess, because there's the ice planet, and he gets to Imam. And then after that, it's Crematoria.
Yeah.
And of course, the Necromongers ship, but that's at the same time.
Yeah.
And then that's it, Necromongers ship. So there's really only like 3 major sets to this, and then everything else happens in between. The action's awesome. The visuals are amazing. The Macbeth style storyline where like Dame Vaco is trying to get Vaco to usurp and become the new lord was crazy cool. Like,
yep.
I liked that Carl Urban makes it into the 3rd. I was surprised. I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot he was in that. See how much I remember that movie? Yeah. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm really hoping that I don't hate it as much as I don't think I ever hated it. I just remember being disappointed by it. That was ultimately what it was.
I don't think you will hate it. I mean, so Riddick was 2013, so that's like a 9-year break between the two movies.
Yeah, so that's like almost 10 years of hype.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the 9 years between the Bourne Ultimatum and Jason Bourne.
Right. And then Jason Bourne was a disappointment.
Exactly. So it's not that they're terrible movies. They're just disappointing.
Like you said, there's a decade of hype there of you just waiting and hoping it's going to happen. And it happens. And you're all like, yes. It's a lot of hype.
Yeah. What's your favorite scene in the whole movie?
Ooh. I love the entire jail sequence. Like all of it.
That's it for me too. That's it for me.
All of it. When he gets down there and that's so good.
The whole thing, like from start to the second he gets back onto the Necromongers ship, is awesome.
Right.
And like it was a lengthy sequence, but I'm glad that they gave it that much time because you reintroduced Kyra and introduced her to be like almost as good as Riddick in that she cuts Riddick. Like that was awesome.
Yeah.
With the blade in her teeth. I was like, oh, that was cool. You also really start to hammer home that while Riddick largely hates everybody, he cared enough about Iman. He cares about Kyra. You know what I mean? Like he does care, just not a lot.
His own little way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I love that sequence because the action's so awesome. You get a little bit of that creature feature feel again with those cat things that are roaming around in there.
But that was so cool too. Like when you saw the scene where he's staring at it, like they're both staring at each other, like you knew that he was not going to fight that. You just knew that it was just an animal thing, like he says.
It's good though. It's the whole movie is so ginormous feeling, and that whole scene in the prison on that planet, it brings it back. It's grounded. It's like Pitch Black again, right?
Yes, exactly. So like, I think another part too was like, I know that Riddick was supposed to try and bring both of those movies more closer together.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really. Like you touch upon the Necromonger stuff at the beginning for obvious reasons, because that's what sets the stage. But then for you to say like the director's cut actually has the Furia or the Underworld mentioning, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's perfect. Makes it a little bit more fleshed out.
Yeah.
Because like I love that, and like you said, like I like that they got into the tight knit, sort of isolated, claustrophobic feel of the first, and then immediately once they get onto the top of Crematoria, flip it, and it's back to the chase sequence. But it's so awesome. They're literally trying to outrun the sun.
I know. Done so much better than Mummy Returns.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's intense. Like when they get to that cliff wall and they're climbing and Riddick makes it to the top, he's like, Kyra, move it. Because he can just see the freaking planet blowing up behind her.
No, he's just like, Kyra?
Yeah.
Kyra, she's like, what? Move your ass. And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess so.
And then that badass part where he just puts the water all over his body and swings down and grabs her.
Yeah. So awesome.
And he stands
just
up
so
with the
cool.
steam coming off him. That's a good shot.
Yeah. Like the cinematography in all the movies are really good.
Yeah.
But like I don't know how this would have looked if they had the same cinematographer, because this is just crazy epic. But I don't think it would have been that bad. I mean, I think it'd be different, obviously, but this is just so cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled this guy off of like the Lord of the Ring movies or something. Like this guy knows how to shoot big. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why it was perfect to get the cinematographer of Pitch Black to come back for Riddick, because it was a smaller scale again.
Right, exactly. You know.
Yeah.
I think the other reason why it's so disappointing is because we had this huge epic like story setting, and then boom, we're right back. I think part of it too is it's like playing God of War. You beat God of War, and you're a god now. You're a god of war.
Yeah.
Then you start God of War 2. Within the first 5 minutes, they're like, oh, yeah, all those powers, you don't have them anymore. They're just like, oh.
That is so disappointing.
Okay, that's cool, I guess. Let me guess, I got to spend another 6 to 12 hours getting new powers? Okay, all right. Even though I love the God of War series, I do.
Yeah.
God of War 3 is my least favorite for the story. Everything else is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, well, maybe a slight bummer to bring Riddick back down to the ground compared to this. I mean, they also made like 60 to 70 million off of it.
Right, and I mean, here's what I'm going to say
Now-
is I'm going to temper this by saying when I rewatch with the director's cut, like when I watch the director's cut, because I've only ever seen the theatrical, so when I watch the director's cut, my tune might change, and I want to reiterate again, I don't hate Riddick. It's just, unfortunately, there's going to be the third movie. It's going to be the last place. That's just how it is.
Yeah, which is totally fine. But watch that director's cut because I think you'll get a new appreciation for it.
Real quick, the profiler, Bruce Wayne's dad, motherfucker.
Yes. Yeah, I like how he's just referred to as Bruce Wayne's dad.
It's Thomas Wayne. We all know it's Thomas Wayne.
That's
It doesn't
Thomas-
sound as cool if you said, that's Thomas Wayne, motherfucker. Bruce Wayne's dad, way cooler.
Way cooler. Way cooler. And
I
then
guess-
he burns.
Yeah, but his burn was a lot slower than the other guy's burn when he lost his head.
Yes.
He was gone like that.
Yeah.
But is it because he's a necromonger?
I don't know. This guy straight up was walking quite far.
He fell down.
And he got up
fell
again.
down and got up to continue walking while he was being incinerated.
You're right. It could be because he's a necromonger because they're technically already dead, right?
On some level, yeah, they're like in between life and death or whatever, and then they got to go to the underworld to transcend.
Yeah. Transcendence.
And-
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, oh, so because Lord Marshall, he transcended, so he actually got to see the underworld. The rest of these jerk offs didn't.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, no, that was cool. That was cool how you find out he's a Furian. I like
And the last Furian, and the reason why the Furians were wiped out was because Lord Marshall, a young soldier, was told that a Furian would kill him. Like, the Macbeth parallels are really cool. Like, I thought that was right.
Yeah, no, it's very Shakespearean at times. Like,
I know, and it's another reason why I'm so amazed that the movie bombed. I mean, granted, it's funny that like it only lost 5 million, but they're like, it's a bomb. It's just horrible. And it got like the reviews on it, I think it was like 29% by the critics, as opposed to like 56 for Pitch Black.
yeah.
I'm blown away by it. This is one of those rare occasions where I'm like, I can't see why this movie did so bad, because like it's just a legit good movie. Nobody's bad in it. The writing isn't terrible. The special effects are fucking phenomenal. They hold up immensely. The design's incredible. The scope is epic. The story, while the only thing that's kind of by the numbers is that the magical one trope, but even then I was like, well, of course, because how else do you explain why he can do all this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad. I feel like if this was released 10 years later, it would have made way more money. Because the foreign box office is so much bigger now than it was in 2004.
Yeah, exactly. And I
And
agree.
they
Like, I think this would be right up their alley.
They love Vin Diesel overseas. Like that last Triple
I
X,
know.
that last Triple X movie, I think made like 40 million here, and then like freaking 300 to 400 million overseas. Like it was stupid.
Like, I mean, how funny is it when like they actually have to sit there and say, well, domestically it bombed.
Yes.
Worldwide it made a killing, but
Yeah.
domestically it bombed. And you're like, okay, but it still made money. Like, I don't understand the issue. So anyway, so yeah, I agree with your assessment about Riddick making a bigger box office
I
in
think
2014.
this could have been made probably a $500 million if it was released today.
The drawback, though, is it's kind of like, when do you do it, right? So 2000, it hit, it made money, okay, which is always good. Do you wait 10 years to get a sequel out? No, you get the sequel out as quickly as you can. And especially when now he's starting to do way more with Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
He's passionate about the project. So it's like, get it out. Okay, good. It's just terrible that it didn't at least make enough of a budget, like enough above the budget to say, okay, well, we'll make some tweaks, but it still made money, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of losing $5 million, like, fuck.
I think
it's funny. I go like, oh, it only lost $5 million. It's not that much in terms of movies. Like, it's insane to say that to you, like, as a human, like, to go, we lost $5 million. I'd be like, okay, well, we're dead.
Yeah.
We're fucking dead. It's over because we lost $5 million. But like in movies, I'm like, especially like Universal, like, you lost $5 million on this movie. Get the fuck out of here.
I know.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And they're talking like this was a bomb. And I'm like, this wasn't a bomb. You lost $5 million. A bomb is where your budget is $120 million and you make $60 million.
Yeah. A bomb is Waterworld.
Yeah, exactly. A bomb is Waterworld where they're just like, no, that's seriously a bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, Chronicles of Riddick would have made more money in 2014. Yes. However, actually, there's no however. It's disappointing that this didn't make more money. It really is.
I think if they go big again with the fourth, with the not the underworld, the underverse and Fury.
Yes, underverse. That's right.
If they go big again with all that, I think it's going to make money.
I think so too, but then again, I also think that they're going to be looking at a little bit more of a conservative budget as well.
Yeah,
because I think when you look at, yeah, exactly, they might as well.
It'll be somewhere like 60 to 70 million budget compared to the 35 or whatever Riddick is.
Yeah, Riddick was what? 23.
20.
Oh, sorry.
Riddick, the third one.
So if Riddick is 35, I think like 60, 65 is good. It's a nice, healthy budget. Because then, I mean, they probably look at it like the next movie's got to make so much money to offset the amount of money we lost making Chronicles of Riddick.
Right. Yeah.
Well, because they think like that. They definitely think like that. Because I remember, what was it? Superman Returns. Superman Returns made like a ton of money. Like the Superman Lives and the Death of Superman and all the stuff that Kevin Smith talks about. So they were looking at all of that price tag plus the budget and everything. So when the movie did only, I think, 400 million or something, they were still just like, well, we didn't fucking make $1 billion. We didn't make enough to cover everything. And you're like, this is crazy. Hollywood's got a weird budget set up as it is.
Yeah.
They have like this weird where like they shield how much movies make in some senses. Like, what was it? There was an actor that agreed to get a percentage of the film's profit. So then they just lied.
They lied. Oh, okay.
And then they just lied about how much profit the movie made. So that they didn't have to pay out the amount, and it was just like, okay. So he took him to court, and he ended up. I wish I remembered who it was, but long story long, this is my favorite movie of the trilogy. It is a really close call. But I don't know. I think just the fact that they expanded upon everything. They made it so that when a sequel was finally announced, I was like, yes, I really want to see this movie. When a sequel was announced for Pitch Black, I was like, oh, right, yeah, but I had no idea what I was getting into. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. And then you see the trailers, they're like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. But yeah, all right, sign me up. And then you see this movie, and then you hear about Riddick, and you're like, shit, this is going to be so good. And then you're like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not what I wanted, I guess. That's really what it is. It's not what I wanted. I'm sure that I will like it more than it sounds that I do. But, I mean, like I said. And also, I think because I was so disappointed, I've only watched it the one time. Whereas these two, I've watched multiple times.
Right.
So it's easy to say, it's flippant for me to say, it's forgettable when you didn't give it the same due that you gave the other movies. It's not cool, Chris. Come on now. Get off your high horse.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Stop sipping the haterade.
It's been 7 years, and you haven't even seen the good cut.
Exactly. Oh.
But yeah, okay. So before we wrap this up, I gotta just say that final fight with the Lord Marshal, with him flashing around and stuff. Oh, so good. Oh, man.
You know what I love about that though is that that's essentially the same thing that happens at the climax of Blade.
Yes.
And yet you're shitting on the special effects for Blade, but not for this. Come on, Kenneth. That's not fair.
No, the special effects in that were way better. What you fucking fuck?
Yeah. No, but actually, I love that. I actually love that Lord Marshall is caught between both. He's caught between Baco and Riddick, and he's literally like, shit, because Baco is about to kill his physical body. And, Riddick's got his soul, so he's got to pick, like, which body do I, like, who kills me? Who do I let kill me? And for some weird reason, he picks the Furion. He sets the prophecy for real. All he had to do was go, I'll let Baco kill me. No, he doesn't.
Nope.
But it was awesome seeing him torn between the two.
I know, that was really just the way they shot that. I loved it. But
my favorite, and I love the whole crematorium, but my favorite is the ending where he just, because like Kyra's dead, so he's actually mourning the loss of Kyra. He's emotional about it, and he just casually sits down.
Not knowing it's alone.
I remember when we were watching the theater, I remember thinking like, oh shit, he's the new Lord. And they all walk up and like they make it so that you're supposed to think they're gonna fucking rip him apart. And then they bow, like they kneel before him, and it's so cool because like at one point, when Baco picks up Riddick on crematory, he goes, "Oh, so you can kneel?" Like, fuck you. And then by the end of the movie, he's kneeling for Riddick. I was like, oh, what a way to end. And of course, Riddick's like, what the fuck's going? Oh, and it's like, you keep what you kill.
Yeah.
I was like, man, what a way to end that movie. Oh, I can't get over it. So good.
So, Chronicles, I think.
Chronicles of Riddick.
I think. Oh, you know what? Okay, I read a cool little tidbit. Okay.
Dueling Pesci's. That's good.
I read today that this entire film was shot in an old Sears warehouse in Burnaby, which was just down the road from where I lived.
You don't say.
I saw this warehouse, and never once did I go, Riddick was created there.
Why the fuck would you?
You never know.
Like I feel like even though like that's one of those things like if you knew now, like if you knew then, I think you would point it out once, Adrian would go, oh, that's cool. And that's it. At the end of the conversation.
That's it.
And then maybe later you would text me and go, hey, so I was in Burnaby and I drove past the Sears building where they filmed Chronicles of Riddick. And then I would go, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then that's it. I would be a little bit more enthusiastic than Adrian, but I would still be just like, that's the end of the conversation. There's really nothing else you could tell me.
That's it. And now I told you this on here, so the whole world.
Yes.
It will live
the whole world. The 148 subscribers.
Oh, 4. But maybe 8 by the time this comes.
I'm being optimistic, Kenneth.
150. I like that number.
That is a good number. That's a nice round number because it gets us closer to 200.
And then closer to 300.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, at that point, it's a hop, skip, and a jump away from 1,000 subscribers, and then we'll start getting like demonetized like crazy. Because YouTube will be like, "Oh, you're getting tons of views. Now we have to take all the money out."
Yeah. Oh, you guys swear a lot. Bleep it all.
Actually, you know what I've noticed? That swearing isn't so much an issue.
No, it's not. As long as you don't rate it for kids, you're good.
Yeah, as long as you don't rate it for kids, and as long as nobody hits you with like a copyright strike.
Yeah, which we've been hit.
I know.
Actually, in fact, I just found this out last week, and I forgot to tell you, our first Camcast has been removed by YouTube.
What?
Yeah, our very first Camcast.
The one where we talked for 3 hours about what's going on in the state of the entertainment universe.
Yeah, and then we jumped over the Dark Knight after that for part 2.
Yeah.
Part 1.
What?
Part 1 has been removed from YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder why. They don't tell you, eh?
It just no.
Weird.
It had a copyright claim on it, but it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal because that was the first video, so I didn't really know about the claims and shit yet. And I had a video of a trailer or something on there.
Oh,
no audio, but the trailer was running. You know, the free trailer that every channel on YouTube already shows. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually, it makes sense, but I agree with you with that whole like, I get it, but that's horse shit.
Yeah. So no,
like, didn't YouTube start off by doing free videos of everything? Oh, that's right, it did.
Yes. So if you want to hear that first Camcast, you can still get it on podcast services.
Oh wow, you mean like SoundCloud?
Yeah.
You mean like Apple Podcast and Google Podcast?
Yeah, those.
But you won't be able to see it on YouTube with the rest of our videos, or Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
But at least you get to still hear it on the other previous things that I had mentioned.
Yeah. Or for the low price of $99.99, I'll print it on a Blu-ray and mail it to you.
How much? Sorry, how many nines?
No, well, 4 nines. 4 nines.
Oh no, Kenneth. It's not $100.
Come on, Chris. It's $40 each easily for our signatures on it.
How much does it cost to actually make a Blu-ray?
I can't say I've ever made a Blu-ray, so I can
tell you right now, it doesn't cost $100 to take a YouTube clip that you have on your hard drive, put it on a Blu-ray.
You're right. But we'll need the money for the lawsuit we get when people see we have a trailer out there on Blu-ray.
That's fair. You know what also is you didn't even call attention to the fact that I'm selling your services very short.
Very short.
I mean, the amount of work that you put in, and I'm sitting there saying, like, it's not worth $100. You tried to make it like, well, our signatures alone are $40 a piece. And I was like, no. The work you do is worthless. Like, I inadvertently was a huge asshole, so I apologize. The work you do is priceless.
On. Zoom wouldn't even let me get the apology. You were like, I apologize.
Oh, I'll say it again. I apologize, Kenneth. The work that you do is priceless.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
It is actually really hard to quantify an actual appropriate amount to justify what you do for this Camcast. So thank you.
You're welcome. And to let you know, I made a bill for you.
I think I've got some issues with my Zoom here. What is happening? It's glitching so hard. The joke's on me. You could just email me the bill. It's not like I could run away from it.
The freezing on hard there was totally inappropriate.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Zoom is just. Well, did it look like I was trying to force the shit out or something?
Or wishing a boner upon everyone.
What a weird alternative you came up with to taking a shit. You're like, no, he wants everyone to have a boner. That's my I want everyone to have a boner face. Okay, all right, well, fair. Boners for everyone. Even people that don't have penises. Boners for everyone.
Oh.
And that's it, Geek Pantsers. I'm out. You can't not end on boners for everyone.